warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to respectful judges and audience. Thank you for having me here. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Sultan Hasanuddin of Goa, which is the main character of my storytelling. The big question is, who is Sultan Hasanuddin? Let me tell you, Sultan Hasanuddin is one of Indonesian hero who fought against Dutch. He was the 16th ruler of the Sultanate of Goa from 1653 to 1669. He was proclaimed as Indonesian national hero on 6 November 1973. The Dutch called Sultan Hasanuddin as a rooster from the east, as he described as aggressive in his battle. Sultan Hasanuddin was born in Makassar, January 12, 1631 in Goa Kingdom, and he was the second prince of the 15th king of Goa, Sultan Malikusait, who died on 15 November 1653. Since Sultan Hasanuddin was a child, he was educated well by his father that created his leadership. Sometimes, Sultan Malikusait asked Hasanuddin to accompany him to some important meeting. His father did this because he wanted to prepare Hasanuddin to be the next king of Goa Empire. He had higher intelligence than his friend when he studied. Sultan Hasanuddin studied in a mosque which was a center of religion education. He grew as a humble, smart, and spiritual person. He studied with a spiritual teacher named Karaing Patingalawang, who was a teacher of Arya Palaka, king of Bone. When he was 22 years old, he promoted as the king of Goa Empire and was knighted as Sultan Hasanuddin Ribala Rangkana. People call him Sultan Hasanuddin or King Hasanuddin. He became a king as a message from Sultan Malikusait before he passed away. He became a king of Goa Empire to continue his father, which was very hard because Goa was a very great kingdom at the time in eastern Indonesia. After his accession to the throne of Goa, Sultan Hasanuddin faced a turbulent situation as the Dutch colonized large part of the East Indies. During this period, the Kingdom of Goa was the sole large East Indonesian kingdom and was not yet colonized by the Dutch. The war between Goa and Dutch colonial could be avoided. Sultan Hasanuddin and his troops bravely fight against Dutch, but Dutch got reinforcement from Batavia, which made Goa push. A treaty was made to end the war between Goa and Dutch colonial called Bongaya Treaty. However, Goa suffered because of this treaty. Sultan Hasanuddin felt that he was tricked by the Dutch, then he declared a war against Dutch. Dutch got more reinforcement that made Goa more under press. Dutch pushed them to the last stronghold called Sambawang. Unfortunately, Dutch could breach the last stronghold and overthrew Goa Empire at 24 June 1669. After Goa lost from Dutch, the Spellman declared an amnesty. Who want to surrender and join Dutch would get amnesty. However, Sultan Hasanuddin had promised that he would not join and compromise to Dutch, then he released his position as a king. Finally, at June 12, 1670, a sad news came from Goa Empire. Sultan Hasanuddin passed away when he was 39 years old. He buried in King's Burial inside of the stronghold of Kale Goa. Sultan Hasanuddin was called Aceh Hanjes van het Oosten, or the rooster from the east, because of his birth. Indonesian military used his name as the name of regional military command in Makassar. A lot of sacrifice have been made by our heroes. I'm glad that the theme of the storytelling is National Hero of Indonesia, because the struggle for Indonesian independence seemed timeless and no longer thought about by students nowadays. I hope all of us could remember the services of Indonesian heroes and emulate this patriotism of them in our daily life. And that's the end of my story. Let's call it a day. Thank you for your attention. I hope you all enjoy it.